What's goody team? What's goody team? Testing, testing, testing. Was perfect. Yo, sorry about that, guys. I had completely forgotten today was Monday. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And it's crazy. Like, it's 7:20 now, right? 7:24. I'll give you guys the way my brain works. Right? I was chilling all day. Right? All day I was chilling. And didn't have no trades this morning. I was on the charts, obviously, but we saw. Yeah, we'll go over the charts and we'll talk about the moves that happened today and what we could be expecting for the rest of this week. Um, Long story short, I'm just chilling here on the PC, and I was literally just about to do some things on Photoshop. Mind you, literally, this just happened. As soon as I sent that message in the Discord 3 minutes ago. As soon as I opened up Discord, I'm like, yo, I feel like I'm missing something. It was just like this internal feeling of like there's something missing. And like at that same exact time, like I looked down at the time, I saw it was 7:20, and I'm like, yo, it's Monday. I gotta do the class. So here we are. We're back. We'll give everybody another 4 minutes to join. We'll start at 7:30 on the dot. Just want to give everybody the opportunity to join. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys used the weekend to clear up some charts and get ready for the new trading week. Um, Yesterday we had a pretty good session in the morning for about 2.5, almost 3 hours in the Discord, while E was going over his charts and marking up his charts. I updated my charts as well with him. We had a few people there. We had Kendall, we had Albert. I believe there was only two people that showed up to that stream, but that's the reason I didn't do the stream on Sunday. We ended up just doing it in the Discord for everybody there. So, uh, regardless, pretty good market breakdown that we did on the stream. Um, Again, on my side of the charts for this week, I'm not really seeing too much. Um, we talked about this at the end of September. The moves that we got on the last couple of days of September, pretty good, right? It looks like these pairs are, most of these pairs, looks like they're setting up for us for these next upcoming days, upcoming weeks. Um, over the last week or so, we had the government shutdown as well here in the States. So, what could we be expecting from the market? You know, when we're talking about US stocks, right? Or when we're talking about US currency pairs, specifically, when we're talking about US 30 and we're talking about any other USD currency, um, USD currency pair, not really expecting too much out of them, right? US 30 has been flying, right? And we've been waiting for price to finally start turning around to start that downtrend push. I believe today we go back on that chart. I believe today we melted, right? And this was a pair that I was eyeing for two reasons, right? The number one reason we had two engulfing candles, and we'll talk about the second one once we get to this pair. Um, and we had the gap, right? So it was a pretty simple trade. However, with the rules and everything else that I was following, all the rules that I follow every single day, looking at where we were at, there was a lot of positives with this trade that ended up working out. But with those positives, there was also a few negatives that I was just not really too interested to even get into the trade, right? And that's something that I've liked about my trading journey. Sorry, trading journey in the last couple years. I've noticed that I've evolved from being a trader that's super aggressive on the chart to I finally found this median where not only am I trusting my analysis and trusting my system, but I'm also trusting in myself, right? And whatever the outcome is at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? So again, US 30, I think it was the only pair that I would say, and this is, I don't do this often, but it's the only pair for today that I would definitely say was a missed opportunity, just based off the fact that we didn't really get a move until the NYC open at 9:30, 9:45. However, the entry criteria for that trade was the only thing that I was skeptical about. And again, we'll go more into details on that pair once we get to it. Once again, we will be going in order from the top to the bottom with the pairs that you see on the right hand side of your screen with the red flag next to their name. We'll be starting off with AUD-USD. We'll be finishing off with US oil. But if you guys have any other questions about any other pair, whether or not they're on our list, let me know. The streams will return starting now. We'll be live again tomorrow morning for the live trading session. We'll be live tomorrow evening for the isolation session. 7 a.m. Eastern in the morning, 7 p.m. Eastern for the evening stream. And we'll do that up until Friday. Friday morning, that's the last stream for the week, and then we'll be back again on Sunday for the weekly market breakdown. So make sure you guys are ready for those. Excited to get back on the charts, man. It was much needed kind of, as much as I hated September for price action and how price was overall moving, which is a lot of choppiness, zones of consolidation the entire month. I kind of like that I was able to step away from the charts for a whole month. I feel fresh, I'm ready to get back into it. And again, it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm gonna take a month break. No, there was no trades for us. We're stuck in zones of consolidations. We really had no confirmations, which is crazy to think about, but it is true. We had no confirmations to take trades during the times that we're looking at our charts from 6 in the morning up until 11 a.m. pretty much. A lot of moves have been happening during Asia session, London session. We'll even see that today, and we'll talk about it. A lot of these pairs, specifically today, right? Today is Monday. Market opens Sunday going into Monday. Usually 9 out of 10 times, price gives you those entries and it gives you those moves very early, either as soon as the market opens, or it'll give you the move at the end of Asia going into London session. So realistically speaking, again, there really hasn't been no opportunities to trade during this time session that I'm on the charts. And again, I'm only on the charts from 6 in the morning to 11 a.m. If there's no trades at that point, if price already gave us the move, if it gave us the entry already and we're too late, if price already hit ADR, if price already hit STP, there's nothing left for us. So we'll go through those pairs. We'll give everybody another 1 minute since I was talking there. We'll give everybody another minute, drink some water, and then we'll get started with AUD-USD. We'll be going over the daily time frame, daily highs, daily lows. Same thing on the 4-hour highs, 4-hour lows. We'll also talk about to see if there's any continuations on the pairs, and then we'll talk about the 30-minute highs and lows and do the same thing. Look for any continuations, anything that looks good for us to catch for tomorrow and for the rest of the week. But again, any questions, guys, just let me know. Any pairs you guys want me to go over, anything in specific, let me know. Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who thinks that I am the one. The kid is not my son. Hee hee hee. Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who thinks that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. Hey, hit the MJ pose, hell yeah. Man, stressful. I'll say this, it was a very stressful day for me today, but I got everything handled. We gotta lock in these next couple days, man. Gotta lock in. Let's lock in, man. Gotta lock in, bro. This is gonna be, I want to say these next 2 months are gonna be grind months for me, but realistically speaking, the next year, literally, October next year, it's gonna be. I gotta get my schedule back in check, man. And again, it all boils down to that conversation we had earlier today, even with the competing and everything. Like, I don't have it. There's not enough time, bro. There's not enough time. It's a different era, bro. Different goals, different things I need to do. And it's not even things. Let's talk about this, right? Outside of day-to-day responsibilities, right? Everything else that adds into it, there's just not enough time. There's not. Again, you know me. If I say there's not enough time, yo, I spent days looking at the calendar, looking at the time of day, like, yo, are we sure we only have 24 hours in a day? Do we have 36 hours? Like, yo, if we had 36 hours in a day, best believe I'd fucking do it. But that's not the case. We only got 24 hours. And realistically speaking, out of those 24 hours, cut back 8 hours of those. Because 8 of those hours, it's nighttime. People sleeping. So I can't even get business done in the hours that I would have available, which is from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning. Right? So, again, realistically speaking, there's just not enough time. There's not enough days in the week. There's not enough time for me to put into competing again. It's just there's no way. There's no way. So we'll see, bro. Again, I'm not even 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm no feet in. There's no way I'm competing. I'm gonna still be in my roots, right? I'm still gonna play wagers. I'm still gonna do what I still do now, bro. But I can't, I can't put in 8-hour days, 10-hour days on the game and then do another, from 6 to 11 a.m. trading and then from 7 to 8 p.m. trading. Everything that has to be done, the one-on-one sessions, there's just not enough time, bro. There's not enough time, especially with all the other ideas that we have going on, everything else. Again, like these next couple months, not only for me but for you guys that are part of our academy and part of our group, part of our mentorship, it's gonna be a lot of things coming up. It's gonna be a lot of things, right? Especially and specifically for those who are taking it serious. Um, so life goes on, man. It is what it is. That was, would love to compete. That was once in a lifetime thing that I wanted to do, and I got to do it when I did it. It's time to close that page, man, and stop thinking about it. But I know that's the hardest. That's the hardest part, bro. The hardest part isn't flipping the page. The hardest part is flipping the page and then forgetting about it. Just stop thinking about it. That's the hardest part, at least for me, and that goes in every aspect in life for me. That doesn't only it doesn't only affect my business life. It affects everything in my life. I'm just that's the way I'm wired, I guess. But yeah, it's time to lock the fuck in, bro. Building the foundation, not gonna lie, especially with all that shit we trying to get done. It'll be fun too, but realistically, there's no way. Nah, there's no way. There's no way. There's not enough time. There's not enough days. There's not enough hours. There's too much that has to be done. That these last couple weeks, especially since I started playing wagers on Black Ops 6 again. These last like 2-3 weeks, and even when I did it in the beginning of the year, brother, like you get on the game and you think you're gonna stay there for 2-3 hours, and it literally takes an hour for one game to finish, one series. There's just not enough time, bro. There's not enough time. There's not enough time. So, there's too much shit that has to get done. That again, like, my younger self would love for me to continue to hold on to that part of my life, and I definitely could. There's ways I could do it. But it's not gonna be the same way that I want it to be. It's not the way that I envision it. But that's not a bad thing. That's not always a bad thing, right? Sometimes, I do believe in manifestation, right? And I do truly believe that the things that you want to manifest will happen to you, but they probably won't happen the way you think it's gonna happen. It'll probably happen a completely different way, right? You think that maybe you want to work for this company. To give you guys an example, right? You want to work for this company. You're like, oh, I don't really, I really like this company and I'm okay with just, being an employee. And then all of a sudden, right, you've manifested it for so long, 2 months down the line, they're telling you you could be a manager. Boom, manager. Then you could be a supervisor. Boom, and then you could fucking all of a sudden now you're working with the management team. right? And it's like, damn, okay. It wasn't exactly what you thought you were gonna do, but that's just how life is sometimes. So, enough with the ranting. We're already 40 minutes fucking late. Again, that's my bad, guys. I completely got backtracked, but my today has been a very kind of a stressful day. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a very stressful day today. Um, but again, I got everything taken care of, which is good. But just a lot of back and forth. But but yeah, man. So let's get started. I think it's just gonna be Ken doing here. Anybody else in the chat? Again, anybody else that has any questions, just let me know. Anything else you guys want me to go over? As a matter of fact, I'm so sorry, guys. Give me one more minute. Let me post the link in the Twitter. Um, Let me post the link on the Twitter and then we'll get started. I just gotta copy and paste it from Discord. Copy link. Go here. And then post this. Close this. All right. Definitely. What? Definitely attuning your thought energy to. I got you. Definitely turning your thought energy to manifesting your reality. Yup, exactly. No, it's 100% real, bro. And I've seen it personally. I've seen it time and time again with everything that I've done in my life, literally. Um, there's not one thing that I've. Yeah, I'll say this and then I'll get started. I think people kind of confuse. I'll give an example, right? You have a goal, right? And every time we set goals, we always set goals to be the top of the top. Like, oh, I want to be professional at this and be the top of the top of this, right? But not every single time will you achieve that, and that's okay, right? However, just because you didn't achieve it 100% the way that you wanted it to happen, something happened where you were still able to live out that dream for the moment that you needed it, right? So that's something that I'm working on currently still as a person, where I take I take those, and I don't want to say those losses because again, it's not losses. Like I don't believe that I've taken many losses in my life when it comes to things that I've wanted to achieve, right? I'm also a huge believer that things that are meant to be for you will be for you. And I'll give you my personal example. Right? I always wanted to be a top competitor, professional on a pro team, right? It didn't work out that way. Yeah, I was one of the top players in the amateur brackets. I was able to play for the university that I always wanted to go to. I was able to play for their team. I was top 5 in the nation while I was in the league for the college team. And like, okay, I didn't make it to the pros all the way at the top, main stage, all that stuff, but I was able to make a living. I was comfortable. I was doing what I always wanted to do, which was compete, right? So, yeah, even though I didn't make it to the top of the top, right? That's okay. Right? It's like very similar to a lot of people in trading. Like everybody's looking for the $100 million payouts and $100 million in my bank account. You know, that's not something wrong to strive for, and you could do it. 100% you could do it. But with a lot of my experiences, we also have to give grace to the $10,000 months, the $5,000 months, right? We have to give grace to the $60,000 year that we're going to have. Because at the end of the day, the goal is just to make this a living, right? And with 60K, you can make a living. With 50K, you can make a living. With 40K, you can make a living, right? How many of you guys work a job that has a $46,000 salary, a $50,000 salary, right? You could go up to 60 and 70 once whatever you work in. But that's still attainable, right? It doesn't always, it doesn't always have to be, oh, I'm gonna be a billionaire, I'm gonna be 100 millionaire. Like, no, it's be happy with the progress, be happy with your journey, and stay true to yourself, right? And I think that's something that I've had to work on for a very long time, which is like, and I will say this about me too. I'm not a person that's present in the time, right? I kind of live through the motion, as people would say. And it's not because I don't enjoy life or I don't enjoy the things that I do. It's just when I put myself in a mindset to want to grind, that's all I'm thinking about. That's all I'm doing. That's all I care about. I tend to ignore the outside noise and just focus on the goals that I have in play without realizing that the moment you live right now is the best time. Take in. Sorry, my mom just texted me. Give me 1 second. My bad, guys. Give me 1 second. My bad. I was texting my mom back. But yeah, man. Long story short, bro. We kind of tend to be in our heads and just think about what it is that we want to accomplish and look at the future instead of taking a step back and just be happy and grateful for what we have going on right now, right in front of us. Um, I think that's something that I've dealt with for a very long time. And again, I'm still dealing with it. It's something that literally I'm talking to you guys about it now, and it's like you guys may think, oh, he got it figured out. Like I'm just now figuring this shit out right now as I'm speaking. I'm being vulnerable to you guys. Like it's I don't even know how to put it into words, man. All I could say is again like enjoy the experience that you have. Enjoy the experience. Um and just keep doing what you guys are doing. Just keep pushing forward. Um, you're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have bad months. You're gonna have a bad year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, maybe 10 years, which sucks. I hope you guys don't have a horrible 10 years, but it happens. It's all about how you climb out of it, right? And once you climb out of it, try to put yourself in a position to not fall into the same traps again. And again, that is something that I'm currently working on. That's still something that I still struggle with, but that's okay, right? So let's get started, guys. I just want to be the best me. That's why I have it on chart as part of my rules. I'm aware of the present moment. Yeah, facts. Nah, bro, that's something that I really do suck at. I'm, I don't even know how to explain it because a lot of people like when they talk about that, yeah, like I'm not really happy right now, and that's fucked up. It's like, nah, I'm happy. Like I'm definitely happy. I definitely know that I'm in this position because of the work that I've put in, right? But it's kind of crazy for me, for example, like you talk to me about something this year that we probably did. Now I'm not gonna remember because I'm not living in the moment, taking it in. Right? My brain is just on go mode. My brain is on work, 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 work. And again, it's not a healthy thing to be. It's healthy to obsess over what it is that you want to do, and I do believe that because again, I've always been that way, and I think I will always be that way, and I hope not, to be honest. But you have to be able to take a step back as a human. You have to be able to take a step back and enjoy the present time. Enjoy the present time. And whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. The things that you could control, go and do what you gotta do. But there's gonna be things that are gonna happen that are not going to be in your control, and that's okay. You gotta let life just pass. You gotta let the moment pass. And just do your thing. Just keep pushing forward. Whatever it is, just keep going. It is what it is. Again, there's no such thing as you have money now. Now you're never gonna be upset. You're never gonna be angry. You're never gonna be sad. That's not real. That's not real. So enjoy the moment. Enjoy the time you have. You know, enjoy the present time. That's the best way I could put it. I'm not really good with speaking about shit like this, cause I'm not really an emotional person like that. You know what I mean? Like, if it was up to me, really, I would say toughen up. It is what it is. Go do what you gotta do. But I'm trying to be a little vulnerable here. So I don't think it's possible to have that mindset while being present, simply because it makes dealing with even the not so good days remind you that it's part of the journey. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And that's really what it is. That's why I'm glad I'm the way that I am, because, yo, you know, yeah. I'll say this too, right? There's a lot of shit we could get into it. But, I had a conversation with a family member today. I'm not gonna put nobody on blast, but the conversation really like opened up my eyes. Like, damn, I suck. I suck as a family member. I'm horrible. Um, but it is what it is. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's something that when I was younger, something that I'm like, yo, I don't really care about that. But as you get older and you kind of mature a little bit and you see life a little bit different, it's like, all right, like, there's certain things that I cannot have this mindset about. There's certain things that I just, me personally, again, everybody's different, right? But there's certain things that I've tried to just ignore, not because I'm doing it on purpose, but because I'm not thinking about anything else other than the fact that I have to be up at 5:30 in the morning. I have to do my sessions. I have to trade. I have to get shit done. Right? And again, the person that I am, realistically speaking, maybe two people really know what I be doing on a day-to-day basis. Maybe two people. Right? So when you try to juggle a million things at once and your fucking cup is already more than full, at one point is gonna overflow, right? And it's going to turn over to everything that you're doing. So, for me personally, again, I gotta do a better job at being able to allow myself to delegate, I guess. Like, I don't know. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. All right, man. Let's get fucking started, man. I'm about to get emotional here on the stream. So again, if any questions, let me know. I know Albert just texted us in the Discord saying he's gonna watch the recording in the morning. So, Albert, and for everybody else watching the recording, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. It's gonna be a pretty quick session. Again, it's Monday, so we'll talk about whatever it is that we need to talk about. If there's a continuation, 2 weeks, 3 week, or 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 months, going into the third week push, third month push, third day push, we'll talk about that. If there's any breaks, retests that we need to talk about, we'll talk about those pairs. Um, but a pair like, for example, AUD USD, we're still expecting a lower high to be made. Still expecting price to move counter trend. A pair like this one, I'm not gonna go too crazy into detail. This is the 30-minute marker, so I'm gonna try to make this stream no longer than an hour. So it'll be a 30-minute session for us here. People think it's hard to turn the switch on and off, but being present, it happens so naturally. Yeah. I mean, again, for you, maybe it happens naturally. For me, I gotta fucking work on that. I have to be able to learn how to turn that switch on and off. Yeah, it goes into the conversation too about the misses. and everything else we've been having these last couple of days, like I'm horrible at it, bro. I'm horrible. Like it doesn't come like for me to y- I'll give you another example. And these conversations are good to have because maybe somebody else is going through the same thing, or maybe somebody needs help with this, and maybe this conversation sparks, that change in somebody. So again, I'm sorry for the late session. I'm sorry for the rambling, but I feel like this conversation is needed, especially in the trading space. Um, it's for me, it's like I'm in the moment. I have to tell myself, like I have an internal conversation. Like for example, Kendall, you could invite me to go out. Realistic. Again, I'm telling you, me personally, and this is real. I'm being so fucking dead ass. You could tell me, yo, Lewis, let's hang out. Cool, let's do it. My first initial thing in my head, right? I'm not gonna say this to you. In my train of thought, number one, yo, do I really want to do that? And it has nothing to do with you. I'm cool with you. It has nothing to do with you, right? Do I want to do this? The time. Well, what am I gonna be doing? Am I really gonna enjoy it? These are all the fucking internal thoughts I'm having with myself. So now I get to you. We see each other. Cool, everything is dope. In the moment, I'm still thinking, yo, I need to go back and go work. I do not allow myself to just be naturally present and happy with what I'm doing outside of work. I went to horror nights, for example, last weekend. Went to horror nights with the fam. It was dope. It was. Am I gonna say it was fun? I'm not gonna say it was fun, but that's me personally because I don't allow myself to enjoy these moments the way they should be enjoyed. But in my head, I'm constantly telling myself like, yo, stop thinking about work. You're fucking on vacation. You're on a day trip. Just enjoy the moment. And it's very difficult for me to do that. Now again, I know why. And the issue is that, and I wouldn't even call it an issue, but the situation at hand is again, all I've known all of my life is work and grind. Right? I didn't have a, I didn't have that childhood where you're just going to school, you're doing sports, you're hanging out with friends, you're doing like no, like bro, I was going to school and in school I was working on my businesses and I was doing sports, but it wasn't really something that I wanted to do. I just did it cuz that's what I knew how to do. Like there was so much of like outside external factors that just I didn't allow myself to. Yo, Lewis, you want to go hang out this weekend? Nah, I can't because I got shit to do. We're talking about high school, right? Even in middle school. So we're talking about when I was 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Like at the age of 13, all I've known was this is what I want to do. And this is what I'm going to work towards. I can't allow myself to lose sight of that. However, now, fucking 12, 13 years later, I'm realizing that you don't need to view hanging out and having a couple days of vacation as losing sight of what you're doing. Like, you have a machine. Your body's a machine, right? If you're an engineer, you work with machines, whatever it is. What happens if you don't take care of it, right? After a while, if you don't take care of the machine, it's gonna die down. You're gonna have to buy the parts again or buy a whole brand new machine. And unfortunately for us, once we expire, we can't fucking buy ourselves back. I don't got a reboot card. You can't go to the buy station and buy me back. Right? And that's something that I'm realizing now. Right? I'm literally like fucking a few days ago type shit. So that's really what it is. Right? Allow yourself to not only be free from whatever definition of free you guys think is, but let yourself be free to express things that you want to do. Allow yourself to be happy. Allow yourself to enjoy the moments. That's really what it is. So we'll end it at that. Self love is a part of work too, my brother. Yeah, facts. I mean, I wouldn't say I don't love myself. I definitely do. I don't think that's a problem with myself. I think You know, that's always something that I've always said that, right? Like especially with relationships, right? Like yo, how could you be in a relationship and you don't even love yourself? Like if you don't even love yourself, how the fuck you think somebody else is gonna love you? It's gonna be very difficult. So, now that's something I love myself. I fucks with me, but I think my shit is more just psychologically deeper than just self love. Because again, I can't say I don't love myself, bro. I've said this for years, yo. If I could make a clone of myself, I'll make 17 of me, and I'll have all 17 of me's in my room right now, and we'll all be talking to each other. I'll be talking to myself all day if I could. And I could talk to myself all day, but then people would think I'm crazy, and that's just another situation I can't get into. So, you know, whatever we want to do with that information, do I gotta go to a psych ward? Maybe. But I do love talking to myself sometimes. Like, yo, you say some smart things sometimes. And sometimes I say some out of pocket stuff, but it's all good. So, let's get started, yo. Let me take a sip of water real quick. Let me take this shirt off. I'm already sweating talking about the conversations, man. So, take a sip of water and then we'll get started, guys. Again, it's not going to be that long of a session. Let's get right into the details, man. Alright, so AUD USD, daily time frame. We know we're in A2 still. Well, take a step back. Technically speaking, we are at the start of level 3 drop on AU. Right, A2, which is the second zone of consolidation, we have it here. We had the break of the zone of consolidation that happened down here that gave us the lower low. As you guys can see, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Then price gave us this lower low over here. Right, and now we're just looking for another lower high point to be set for us to then look for a lower high going back down into that lower low, which will then be considered the trend for level 3 down to the previous peak lows down here. Right, so now again, there was 2 points of interest that I'm targeting for this lower high to be set. The first point of interest was the 800 EMA, which we won above. The second point of interest is that 30-minute gap that's here at the top. And again, I am still expecting price to continue this trend to the top side. I am still expecting price to give us that push to the 30-minute gap. Now, we know we have 2 months to rise. Could we be looking for price to give us that 3rd month push to the top side? Absolutely. And right now when we're looking at the trend, we're still making higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Where do we think price is going to go? We think price is going to make higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower low, or do we think price is going to make higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, back into the higher high? So not only do we have the confirmation of 2 months of rise, but we also have the confirmation of market structure that's still uptrending. So now I go to the 4-hour time frame. Once we go to the 4-hour time frame, once again, we know that price gave us a higher high. We could see that on the 4-hour time frame. Price gave us higher high, higher low. We have a weaker rise. So right now we have no continuations. Now we go to the 30-minute, right? There's not a lot to look at on the 4-hour right now. Price is still moving counter trend. I'm not interested in taking these buy positions. I'm only interested in taking the shorts. I'm not trading counter trends. When we go to the 30-minute time frame, price also gave us a higher high change of character. And as soon as price gave us that higher high change of character, what did price start doing? Moving sideways. The last 4 days, price has just been consolidating. Trapping traders going long, trapping traders going short, starting the week off with a fat gap in the market, trapping traders just left and right. All the traders who thought, oh look, you know, end of Asia going into London, we have a double top and price broke the neckline. How many traders you think took a trade here going short? So many. Straight to stop loss. Right? Straight to stop loss. So again, just the fact that we're making higher highs and higher lows, and the fact that we can still see that price could potentially give us a higher push, this is the biggest reason why we're not looking for these shorts just yet. Price is still on the uptrend move. And then price ended up giving us a day of rise. And we already know our next confirmation that'll let us know where price wants to go is going to be at these 30-minute highs. If price breaks these highs, then we know we'll get the retest to continue. Right? If price gives us a rejection of the high and then starts making lower lows and lower highs, then again, we know we could take these trades back down to the bottom of the zone of consolidation. In this area, just looking at this area, this little piece right here, right? Price is either going to break to then continue, or it's going to give us the inducement to then go back down. And the same thing at these lows. Either price is going to break to continue, or price is going to give us the inducement to then continue that push to the top side. So right now it's just about being patient with AU. We have 4 days that price has been moving sideways, just trapping traders. So there's not a lot. If the market is already giving you signs that this is the area where they're just trapping traders, collecting contracts, hitting stop losses, giving you false confirmations, why would you put yourself in a situation to take trades in these areas? Right? It doesn't make sense. So AU, go to the next one. There's nothing to trade on AU. We'll go to the next pair. Again, go one by one, look for the best looking pair there is. Once we find that pair, we start attacking on the charts. You aren't your awareness that notices them, get out of your head. What? Definitely, but you aren't your thoughts. You're the awareness that notices them, get out of your head. Yeah, I can't, man. I'm working on it. Does this look like a shoulder head shoulder going long on the 30? Zoom out, it might be higher time frame. Let's see. Could it be a shoulder head shoulder? Absolutely. 30-minute time frame? I don't see it. You're saying like this, saying this area here, like shoulder head shoulder? No. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like this right here, no. Remember again, like shoulder head shoulders, really, I'm not looking at them everywhere on the chart, right? Because we could go back, right? And this is the reason why, right? We could go back here, shoulder head shoulder, right? You can see that we had it marked off, but we already know that this isn't a high probable shoulder head shoulder, not only based on market structure, but where we're at in the market, right? So we already knew like this isn't really a strong shoulder head shoulder, just based on the fact that we're trading at the lower low change of character. If we would have had the break of structure and then the retest, you know, then we could have said, oh yeah, this is a strong shoulder head shoulder. So it's the same thing when we take it even a little bit further, right? Same thing that happened before. It gave us another shoulder head shoulder. Like shoulder head shoulders are always going to be printed on the charts. Remember, like all these patterns, they're patterns, right? The same way that a double bottom is a pattern, the same way that a double top is a pattern, the same way that flag post, right? Flag post pattern. It says it on the name, flag post pattern, right? It's the areas that you're looking for them. So again, the fact that we're trading at a higher high, higher low in every time frame besides the 30-minute is the biggest reason why we already know, like, yes, could we mark this up as a shoulder head shoulder? Sure, we 100% could mark this up as a shoulder head shoulder, but we already understand that this is low probability. So instead of looking for my entry based off a shoulder head shoulder, I'm not looking for an entry just based off the shoulder head shoulder. I'm looking at my entries based on market structure in this area, where again at this point they kept it simple for us. We're in a zone of consolidation again, where price has rejected lows and rejected highs. We know that if price rejects these highs, we could take a short position, but understand that I'm not looking to take my short position from a lower high up here down into a lower low down here, right? I'm only looking to take that lower high point or that sell position, right? I'm only looking to catch a trade from here to here. That's it. Same thing, right? If you were looking to take longs, I'm only looking to take my longs from here to here. If price breaks these highs, then again, we have clean traffic all the way back to the top side. We have no other structure. It's just clean traffic, right? And if price breaks these lows down here to continue, what do we have on the left-hand side, right? Clean traffic all the way back down to those 30-minute lows down here. Right? I hope that makes sense. Oh, shoulder head shoulder going. Nah, I don't see that shoulder head shoulder. My brother, you're gonna have to send me a screenshot. Talking about the lower high that we just tested for the change of character. Nah, brother, I don't see that shoulder head shoulder. Maybe I'm blind, maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but no. The only shoulder head shoulder that's here is this one here. Shoulder head shoulder. That's it. And then obviously the inverse shoulder head shoulder would be shoulder head shoulder. I can't draw this upside down for some reason. Shoulder head shoulder. Whatever. We don't have that here. Oh, on the 1 hour we do. Okay. Alright, so we kind of have that happening here, right? We have shoulder, head, shoulder. So yeah, pretty much. Alright, so your initial question was what? Does this look like a shoulder head shoulder going long? Okay, yeah, exactly. So yeah, could this be the shoulder head shoulder going long? Absolutely, right? So everything that I said with these shoulder head shoulders going short, same thing apply. But now, why is this shoulder head shoulder a lot higher probability? Is because we're uptrending once again, right? We're uptrending on the daily, we're uptrending on the 4 hour, on the 30 minute. We just had a change of character, and we already know if price gives us the change of character, right? Higher high, higher low, and then it gives us the break of structure, higher high, higher low. Not only at this point would we have the daily uptrending, but the 4 hour is uptrending, and the 30 minute is uptrending. Not only are they all uptrending, but then the 30 minute gave us the confirmation entry, which is the break of structure after the change of character, right? So this would be a very strong, high probability area to start taking these trades. Or, if you're looking for the long positions, it would be a strong area to take trades to then continue. And again, it's really just all following the same plan, which is, again, once you have a change of character, you wait for that valid break of structure to happen. Once you get that break, boom, crystal clean trades straight back to the top side. We don't even have to question the entry. We already know it's going to go straight to stop loss, straight to take profit, right? So yeah, good catch on that. I didn't, for some reason, I see it. I see it now on the 30 what you were talking about. Yeah, I wasn't looking hard enough. You sense it? I got you. AUD CAD. This is where I'm gonna start speeding up, guys. Again, unless I have something to talk about, we'll talk about it. If not, we're just gonna get through these pairs like if I was updating my charts on my own. Just gonna speed it up a little bit since we've already been streaming for 50 minutes. And again, I know a lot of these people are gonna watch the recording before the live trading session in the morning, so I'll try to make this a little bit quicker. So AUD CAD, we're still in A1, which is the first zone of consolidation on the downtrend, where we can see price has been rejecting highs and rejecting lows the entire time. We have no valid break of the lows, no valid break of the highs. Price gave us a rejection of the lows, went back to the top, rejection of the lows, back to the top, rejection of the lows, and we can see that price is going back to the top side. On the daily time frame, we have 2 months of counter rise, this month being the third month. Price gave us that third month push to the top side, so price is moving exactly how it needs to move. On the 4 hour time frame, price gave us 2 weeks of counter rise, this week being the third week. Again, price already gave us that third week push to the top side, so perfect. Again, once price starts making lower lows and lower highs, that's when I'll start trading these pairs again. And currently on the 30 minute, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, then we had higher low all the way down to the bottom. Then price came up and gave us a change of character, higher high. It gave us a higher low when the market opened. And then we were looking for a valid break of these highs, which we still haven't gotten just yet. Price is still testing these highs, but price did give us a day of rise. So again, at this point, if price decides to give us a valid break of these highs, it gives us another higher high, higher low, that we know price is going to continue that trend to the top side. If price gives us a rejection of these highs, and then on the lower time frame we start seeing that price is making lower lows and lower highs, then we know we could take a little short position back down to this area. And very similar to AU, we could see that price here is just in a zone of consolidation, right? So regardless, we'll be looking for price to either break these highs to then continue, or we'll be looking for price to give us a rejection to go back down to the bottom of the zone of consolidation. I missed what you were saying. I missed what you were saying about the shoulder trying to take the screenshot. Oh fuck, my bad. I'm gonna join the Discord once this finishes. Alright, I got you. We'll go over it in the Discord then. I'm gonna try to be a little bit cleaner with my charts too, guys. I'm getting a little annoyed with how dirty my charts are looking, just based on the fact that I just mark up everything on the charts and I leave it there for you guys. And again, I know that over time I've shown myself and you guys that it's very important to keep those drawings on the screen, but it's affecting my eyesight, man. It's too much shit on my screen. Too much. Too much. It's way too much cluster. Euro AUD, we know we are in level 3 on an uptrend, right? We had the double bottom, push 1, push 2, up into push 3, number top to the top side. We're expecting price to reach our previous peak highs at these highs over here. And again, once we zoom in, daily time frame, we have no continuations. Price has just been giving us a zone of consolidation in these areas for the last 3 months. Price has just been moving sideways. And we're right back down at the bottom of that zone of consolidation. So, gonna be patient with EA. Once we start making higher highs and higher lows, once we get out of the zone of consolidation, that's when I'll start looking to take these trades again. We have no continuations on the 4-hour time frame. We had a weaker drop. When we're looking for our 4-hour highs and 4-hour lows, we're still trading between these highs and these lows. Same thing as our daily time frame. So right now, we just pretty much have the 30-minute time frame structure to really keep us in our place. And right now in the 30-minute, we're still making change of character, lower low, lower high, lower low break of structure, lower high, and then price gave us another lower low down to the bottom. Price gave us a day of drop instead. Right, so same thing, like, oh, but we had 2 days of rise. Price didn't give us a third day. You lied to me. Well, again, how could you be looking for a buy position when price is still giving you lower lows and lower highs? Price never turned around. Price never gave you higher highs and higher lows on any time frame. You go down to the 5-minute time frame, you're trading between lower low, lower high, lower low. Price never broke these highs. Price broke these lows today. Right? So give me a second. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Just got a funny ass text. That's funny. Right, so right now for EA, once again, price gave us lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're going to update our 30-minute highs. We're trading between these 30-minute highs over here. And we're trading between these lower lows. Yo, that's funny as hell that he saw that video just now. I was talking to Drew. I think it was this morning when we were playing earlier in the morning. I was like, yo, I seen a video this morning. Shotzi did some regular shit that we see every day in COD, but because he did it, oh, everybody's glazing him. Oh, he's so good at the game. But when I do the same thing, nobody says a thing. Like, it's crazy. Like, this guy did nothing on the map. Everybody's just glazing him. Like, alright, man, like, whatever. He just sent me a text with the video linked to the text, and he said the exact same thing that I said this morning. Like, yo. Alright, so EA, we're going to wait for price to start making higher highs and higher lows. Once we start making higher highs and higher lows, once the price shifts from downtrend to uptrend, that's when I'll start taking those trades again. EuroCAD. Where's E at, man? This is his favorite fucking pair, bro. Where's E at? I should text him right now, like, yo, you're late to class. You're late to class. If you show up late, we're leaving you outside. We're not opening the door. For EuroCAD, we know that we are in. Right, I'm personally still gonna mark this as level 3. Again, we had this conversation on Friday, I believe it was, or on Thursday. Again, me personally, I'm going to keep this as level 3. Why? Because either way, and I'll say this again, either way, however we want to mark this up, we are still in previous peak high territory. We're still in previous peak high territories. I am done trading EURUSD until this happens, which is if price, let's say that this is level 2 rise and we're still in level 2 and price, because we can still see price trending, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So let's say that we're still in level 2. Right now, price is in level 2, but we're at a higher high, right? We're trading at a higher high. Now, what does this mean? If price gives us a pullback, and again, we're in level 2 rise. So if, say this again, if we were in level 2 rise, that means that we want to see price bounce off the 200 EMA. Remember, level 1 and level 3 is bouncing off the 50 EMA, the blue line, the baby blue line, right? The teal line, whatever you want to call this, the aqua blue line. It's still bouncing off of it. It's not bouncing off the 200, which is the white line, the white EMA. So again, if price decides to give us this higher high, and we start seeing price give us a higher low, and the higher low is set on the 200 EMA, and once we make this higher low, if price starts giving us higher highs and higher lows on the internal time frame, right, on the 30 minute, on the 15, on the 5 minute, on the 1 minute, that's when I'll start taking those trades again back to the top side. It's the only way. So again, regardless of how we mark this up, at this current place where price is at, I am not looking to take a trade. So we just need to get a little bit more confirmations. Once again, this is nothing new, right? There are some pairs, there are some times in the market maker's pattern where we just have to allow price to develop just a little bit more. Allow price to develop a little bit more. If you have to ask yourself questions about where you are and why, meaning if it doesn't look crystal clear, I am not taking the trade. I'm stepping away from that pair, and I'm going to go look for another pair that looks 10 times better. And that's going to be the pair that I'm focusing on, right? Right now, when we're looking at the 4-hour time frame, same thing. We're still on an uptrend. We're good. We're still making higher high, higher low, back up into these higher highs over here. We had 3 weeks of rise. On the 3rd week, gave us a rise drop. It gave us a 4th week variation. It gave us 2 weeks of rise. This week, am I expecting a 3rd week push? Again, somebody else could tell you something completely different and tell you yes. But me personally, based on the area that we're trading in previous peak high territory, we're trading not only in previous peak high territory, but we're trading at a higher high. I'm not expecting price to make higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. Now again, could that happen? Absolutely. It's happening on US 30. It's happening on gold. We've seen it happen on pairs like GBPJPY. We've seen it happen on Bitcoin. We see it happen often. However, just because I see it often does not mean I'm not going to follow the rules that we know work 100% of the time. Because we understand that the day that we decide to take this fucking trade is the day we're going to hit stop loss. So I'm okay with letting price go straight into TP for everybody else. I'm happy for you. I'm glad. I've done enough homework to understand that this is a low probability area to take a trade. I'm not going to do it. I'm not putting myself in a position to enter a trade and have a 50% chance of winning and a 50% chance of losing. Because again, number one, I don't like losing. Number two, I don't go to casinos. I don't gamble. I don't play the lottery. I don't like to do things that are 50-50. I'm just not there for it. You can't control the outcome. I'm good. If I can't control what's going on, I'm not going to do it. If my rules are not being followed 100% of the time, I'm not going to do it. If that means that I'm not going to trade for a month, cool. If that means I'm not going to trade for 2 months, cool. I don't care. I'm not here to be the trader taking the most trades in a year. No, I'm here to pay my bills. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't pay my bills if I lose trades. The only way I could pay bills is if I win trades. That's it. I don't need a fucking Bugatti. I don't need a Surron. I don't need none of that. I don't need a private jet. I don't need $100 million mansion. I don't care about none of that. I got a bed, I got a house, I got a roof over my head when it's raining and when it's super hot outside of Florida. I'm good. I don't need nothing else. I don't need nothing else. Right? I'll leave that for the millionaires and billionaires that want to make 100 million and spend 100 million. I'm good. I don't need to spend that. I don't. Again, we just had the conversation. I don't go out. I work, right? And my job and my able to do that, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm fucking chilling, right? So, EuroCAD on the 30-minute time frame. Price gave us higher high, higher low, higher high, and then gave us that change of character lower low today as soon as the market opened, right? So now for EuroCAD, we know that we still have this gap at the top of the market. Now this is good. Now why is this good? Because this is giving us an indication that price eventually is going to push up and fill this gap. Now again, is that going to happen on the same day? Is it going to happen on the next day? Is it going to happen this week, next week? That's what we don't know. We don't have the answer for that. But you know who does have the answer for that? Market structure. If price, now if we go down to the 5-minute, maybe even the 1-minute time frame, right? The 5-minute looks good. Let me just double check here, confirm that we're in this structure on the 5-minute, right? When we go to the 5-minute, the 1-minute would be a little bit better, but we could do it on the 5-minute. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Price gave us the change of character higher high. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a break of structure to the top side. Not only will we have that break of structure to the top side, but be aware where the 800 EMA is. We're right on the 800 EMA. If price gives us the break on that 5-minute structure and it gives us a break above the 800 EMA, then we know we could take these trades. We know that we could take these trades after the break, the retest. We could take these trades back to the top side. I'm cool with that. We're talking about a 5-minute entry on a pair that moves 82 pips on a day-to-day basis, which means that our stop loss is going to be anywhere between 5 to 10 pips, right? A 5 to 10 pip stop loss, looking to get at minimum, right? At a minimum, 26 pips. I'm cool with a 1 to 4. I'm cool with a 1 to 5. I'm cool with a 5 pip stop loss. That'll pay my bills for the month, for the next 2 months. I'm cool with that. That's how I look at trading. I don't look at trading of, oh, I'm going to get a 1 to 1 and I'm going to do, no. I'm catching what I know I could catch. And as soon as the market gives me the confirmation that we're going to go up, then we take the trade. Then we have the confirmation and we know we're going to win the trade 100% of the time. We know that. The proof is there. Again, you have my trading journal. You guys have seen the trades that E takes. We have so many videos on YouTube of live stream trading sessions. So many. That you guys could go back and see and go do your research. Like, yo, this is real. This is real. This is more than real. Right? Now, Santa Claus, different story. I've never seen the guy. I fuck with him, but I have never seen him. But my rules, I see them every single day. I see the results every single day. I live through it every single. I just want to be careful. Yo, I'm hungry. I don't think I've eaten today. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I don't think I've eaten today. Let me think. Did I eat today? I woke up, got on the charts, went to the bathroom, took a shower, was on the phone fucking half the day today. Just back and forth. I don't think I've eaten today. I don't even think I've drank water today. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is the first cup of water that I've had today. Today's been a really stressful day. That's all I gotta say. Goes back to what we were talking about earlier in the stream before we started looking at the charts. Today has been a very weird day. See where my brother's at. He's still at work. Yeah. And man, why is this guy still at work? Just trying to see if he could stop by Wawa and give me a sub. Today's Monday, but it's already 8:30. The Chinese spot's closed. Damn. All right, Euro USD. I've been really craving that Chinese food, bro. You said similar to same on EU. Bit of the 800 at 5-minute highs. Let's see. Right, EU. We know that we are in level 2 on an uptrend. Right, we had level 1, first zone of consolidation. The start of level 2 that gave us the higher high break of structure of the zone of consolidation. Gave us a higher low. Then price gave us a higher high, and for the last couple months, price has just been moving sideways in this area, right? So daily time frame, we still don't have a set daily break just yet. It just gave us the inducement of the high. This is the reason I still have this daily high just marked up here, right? So I'm not going to say that we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high just yet. This could be the inducement for price to continue that downtrend push. And again, the biggest, before I say that, let me take a step back, because I don't remember if EuroCAD has a gap. It does. Okay, so same thing that I could be expecting for EU is the same thing that could be happening with ECAD, right? We still have these gaps at the bottom of the market. Could price, the same way that price left these gaps down here, could price do the same thing for the gap? And we kind of just skipped a bunch of stuff here, but it's all good. Could price leave this gap up here for the next couple days, next couple weeks, the same way that it gave us, or the same way that it left these gaps down here? Absolutely. So again, could price just start that downtrend push to give us that higher low that we were looking for on the external time frame, right? To then fill these gaps at the higher low that we're looking for, to then give us the higher high to go back up and fill these gaps at the top of the market? Absolutely. Right, 100%. Now let's go back to the 4-hour, because we kind of skipped over that pair real quick, or that time frame. Again, it all boils down to market structure, right? So we know that, boom, on the daily time frame we have the inducement of the high. On the 4-hour time frame, technically, price gave us an inducement of the high as well. Never gave us a valid break. It was just one candle, and then the next candle did not close above. It just went straight down. It gave us an exhaustion candle, and then we started seeing internal lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? Price on the 30-minute time frame, what is it doing? 30-minute, we had a change of character, lower low, gave us a lower high. After this lower high was set, price gave us a zone of consolidation. Let me go ahead and delete some of these drawing, guys. Sorry. Like I said, there's too much on my screen for nothing. Right? We had a zone of consolidation. That price gave us the break. Right? Which technically, yep, this wasn't the break. The break happened over here. And technically speaking, again, we still don't even have a valid break. Right? Because this push down here is still touching the break of structure line. The candle that we wanted to see close below this candle, we never got the closure below. As you guys can see, we never had a closure below these candles. It was just all wicks, and then price came up. So could this be the invalid break to fake the traders out, thinking that price is going to make lower low, lower high to go back into the lower low, to then start the uptrend push back to the top side? It could be. It most definitely could be. Now again, when we're looking at the 5-minute time frame on EU, just take a step back. Let's look at our left hand side. Right, we know we had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, boom. Right, price never broke these lows, price did not break these highs. So we had higher high, higher low, higher high. Again, price never broke these highs. So then price gave us a change of character, lower low, lower high, lower low down here. Then price gave us a change of character, higher high, higher low. Then it gave us another higher high. Then it gave us a lower low change of character, lower high, and then it gave us a lower low break of structure. So technically right now on EU, comparing it to ECAD, we are trading between the break of structure lower low, and this could be the lower high, right? So EU looks a lot more probable that price is going to just continue a push down to the bottom compared to ECAD. Again, when we're looking at market structure and how price is moving and what price is currently doing, it looks like and it seems like price wants to continue these downtrend pushes. But very similar, right? If we go down even to the lower time frame, or no, not really, I can't say that. Let's take a step back from that. Right, so again, regardless, gonna be waiting for the same thing to happen. As soon as we start making higher highs and higher lows again, that's when I'll start looking to take these trades. But for right now, there's nothing clear on the chart right now for EU. For GA, daily time frame, we know that we are in peak high territory. Again, we already had push 1, push 2, push 3. Push number 3 to the top side gave us the previous peak highs. We're at the previous peak highs already. We made new highs already. Once price gave us those new highs, price was just in a zone of consolidation where price has been rejecting highs and rejecting lows, and we've been at these lows for the last couple weeks now, which we will see on the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we can see that price again still stuck in this range, still stuck in the zone of consolidation, and we've been stuck at these lows for the last 4 weeks. About to be 5 weeks this week. We have no continuations. We have a weaker drop. We're in peak high territory. I'm not gonna trade this. As soon as we start making higher highs and higher lows on as soon as we start making lower lows and lower highs on GA, not only on the 30-minute time frame, but again on the 4-hour, on the daily time frame, once we see that the trend has shifted from an uptrend to a downtrend, that's when I'll start looking to take these trades again. We had a gap at the market open for Sunday going into Monday. It gave us the closure of that gap. Price came down, ended up giving us a day of drop. Cool. Gonna wait it out for GA. Nothing really there to talk about. GCAD. We know that we are trading in level 3 still on an uptrend, looking good. We're still expecting price to reach our previous peak highs all the way up here. So we have a lot of time to go. We have a lot of time to go, and very similar to to ECAD, right? Price here gave us 2 zones of consolidation. We could see price has been rejecting these lows and rejecting these highs. Then price gave us another push to the top side, but we're stuck in another zone of consolidation. That's okay, right? That's okay. We know that the market has 2 moves, a trend or a zone of consolidation. And instead of giving us a simple trend, higher high, higher low, back into the higher high, it decided to give us a higher high, higher low, and then just start consolidating. Started moving sideways. Again, completely okay. Makes it a lot easier to trade, if anything, right? Because we know that before we could even consider to take a long position in these areas, we want to see a valid break of these highs. Do we have that valid break? No. So right now, taking a step back from GCAD, we're trading at these highs. We're trading at the top of the zone of consolidation on an uptrend. Why would I look for a buy position at the top of the zone of consolidation on an uptrend? I would rather look for the buy positions at the bottom of the zone of consolidation to take the trades from the bottom to go back to the top, right? The same way that I would rather take a buy position at a higher low for price to go from the higher low to the higher high, right? I don't want to take a buy position at a higher high. Why would I take a buy position at a higher high? Again, to put yourself in a situation where you have a 50% chance of winning, a 50% chance of losing. I'm not doing that to myself. Me as a trader, I'm not doing that to myself. If I know that price is in an area where it doesn't make sense to take a trade, I'm not going to do it. If I know that this is an area where the market makers are trapping traders left and right every single day, right? We can see that the last 4 days, price has just been moving sideways. Why would I put myself in a position to take a bullshit trade? It doesn't make any sense. Right, so gonna be patient with GCAD. I'll be waiting for those breaks to happen. As soon as we get those breaks, that's when I'll start trading it. GJ gave us a crazy wick or gap, sorry, at the market open. Crazy gap at the market open. Gave us a day of rise, gave us a 2 days of rise. Market open now, continued that push to the top side, almost at STP already, man. GJ is flying. GJ on the daily time frame is also another one. We're still on an uptrend. We're still making higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We can see that price is continuing that push to the higher high, and very similar to what we were talking about GU, right? Price gave us, instead of a simple higher low back into the higher high, it gave us a higher low, and on the push to the higher high, it gave us a zone of consolidation, right? And finally, call the tooth fairy. She's gonna pick up, right? We finally got that valid break on the 4-hour time frame. So perfect. Now, why is this good, right? Again, look at all the rules that we have. We wanted to see the valid break. We know that we're in level 3. In level 3, we want to see price bounce off the 50 EMA. Perfect, right? On top of the fact that we want to see price bounce off the 50, price gave us the higher high. We're looking for a higher low. We're looking for the retest. We have a 30-minute gap. Where do we have that 30-minute gap at? We have it right at the bounce of the 50 EMA. So could we expect price to give us something like this? Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? So we'll be patient with GJ, man. GJ finally gave us the break that we've been waiting for the last fucking, I don't know how long. Very long time. But it finally gave us that break that we were looking for. Price gave us that change of character. Higher high to the top side, which happens here. Change this to blue so we know that this is an uptrend. Right? We're trading between this low and this high. Now, am I going to mark this as higher high, higher low, back into the higher high? On the 30-minute, yes. Yes, I am. So we're trading between these lows here. And the reason, I'll give you guys the reason that I'm marking this still as higher high, higher low here, instead of just saying that all of this is part of the same trend, is just based on how much price moves for GJ, how much volume is on the charts, right? So we'll leave it at that. I'm not going to confuse you guys, too much, but we can still see the trend, right? Higher high, higher low. So we'll be patient with GJ. Once we get those moves happening, then we're good to go. GU. Again, guys, any questions, let me know. We're almost done. These last couple pairs on the list, right? Like US30 again, gold, Bitcoin, oil, USD ZAR, USD CAD. I'm not really trading them that much. So GU is going to be pretty much the last pair for the night. And then we're going to go ahead and speed it up for these last couple pairs. It should take us another 10 minutes or so for the stream. So again, any questions, let me know. Again, for the people watching the recording tomorrow morning, good morning, first of all. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me in the Discord or on Twitter or on Instagram. Or if you want to wait to ask the question during the live trading session in the morning, let me know. So GU, we know we are in level 2 on an uptrend, right? We had push number 1, V1, which is the first zone of consolidation. We had the higher high break of structure of the zone of consolidation. We had higher low. And then we're currently at the higher high, where again, very similar to EU. As soon as price gave us this higher high over here, price was stuck in a zone of consolidation. Right? We have no continuations on the daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, I believe I have to update this because of the gap. Let me see. 4-hour time frame. We had a no net for the week. Right? So where price just moved sideways. Oops. Oopsie daisy. Damn it. Weekly no net. Right? And then on the 30-minute time frame, price gave us a change of character, lower low, lower high, break of structure, lower low. On the push back to the lower high, price has kind of just been trapped in this area. Gave us that lower high point. It looked like price wanted to give us the lower low, but then came back up into the same area. We had a gap in the beginning of the week. Price went up today, gave us that fill for the gap. This was another pair. I was keeping an eye on it. We had this 15-minute engulfing candle, but price never gave us a retest. It missed it by about 3-4 pips, and then went straight to profit, right? Straight to that TP target, which would have been the fill of the gap. So again, not too shabby of a pair. We'll keep an eye on it. We have 2 days of rise, but again, Not expecting a 372. This is not a high probability trade. Once again, just based on the fact that when we're looking at structure, we have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So gonna be careful with GU. Again, these last couple pairs, guys, we'll speed it up. We'll be done in the next 10 minutes. NZD USD, we are in level 3 drop. We had push 1 first zone, push 2 second zone. Now we're looking for push number 3 back to the bottom side. We were trapped in a zone of consolidation on the 4-hour time frame. We have no continuations on the daily. We had a monthly drop, which is good. On the 4-hour time frame, we had 2 weeks of drop. On the 3rd week, price ended up giving us a push to the top side, which is okay, right? We know that we were trading at a lower low after price had just given us that break of structure that we were looking for. That happened down here, right? And after a lower low, I'm looking for a lower high point. The crosses of the EMAs on the daily look perfect. 50 below the 200. Could be looking for price to give us a bounce off that 50 EMA on the daily time frame. We have 13 minutes for this 4-hour candle to print, but it is not a valid engulfing candle, so we cannot use that as a confirmation. And then on the 30-minute time frame, price gave us a day of rise on Friday. Today, price gave us that gap. It filled it as soon as the market opened. We ended up getting 2 days of rise. We're on the 800 EMA. Price is respecting the 800 EMA. Price gave us a change of character. It gave us an inducement of the 30-minute high. So boom. We already found our picture perfect pair, which looks like NZD USD will be that for us. Go back real quick. Any engulfing candles to look for. Let's look at the 30, the 15, the 5-minute. And then we'll keep an eye on structure on the 5-minute as well, the internal structure. So we can see if price wants to give us a change of character break of structure down on the bottom side on the internal time frame. So nothing on the higher time frame, right? On the external time frame, there's nothing here. Now on the 5-minute, we know we were trading higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, change of character. And then price gave us a no break of the lows. The highs, it gave us a change of character back to the top side over here. So damn, 5-minute structure, we're kind of in a very big zone as well. We don't really have any change of character break of structures that could happen on the 5-minute time frame just based on how price is moving. So that's all right. Right, we'll keep an eye on NZD USD for tomorrow and for the rest of this week, but NZD USD could definitely be one of the pairs to keep an eye on for not only tomorrow but for the week. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the watch list for today. So watch list for not 09, it's already October, buddy. For 10/06/2025. And then NZD USD, looking for long positions. US 30. Hello, 30, thank you. US 30, we're in peak high territory. We're trading at a higher high. Once again, not a lot to talk about on this pair. 4-hour time frame, we had the 4th week variation last week for price to continue that push to the top side, gave us that 4th week high. Not expecting price to continue that uptrend push. Again, we are still making higher highs and higher lows. We're trading at a higher high, so gonna be careful. Could we be looking for a position, a short position, to go back into the lows to give us that higher low? We could do that. No, there's nothing wrong with that, right? And then US 30, gave us a nice opportunity to take a trade today. So as we can see, we had a 1-hour engulfing candle that price never tapped into, right? Which was the first target that I was looking for, to take these trades at the higher high to go back into a higher low. But we also had a 15-minute engulfing candle that price ended up giving us the entry at around 1 in the morning or so. Where was this? Damn, I knew I should have marked it. Yeah, where was this engulfing candle at? Was it on the 30? Oh, it was on the 30, my bad. On the 30-minute time frame, it gave us this beautiful engulfing candle over here. Green, green, red. Price closed below. It gave us a retest, right? And it gave us the retest, right? So the engulfing candle printed at 1 in the morning. At 130, it gave us the retest. And from 130 all the way till the NYC Open, we were sitting in these areas. And again, my rules for my engulfing candles are very simple. If price gives you an engulfing candle and it gives you a retest and it goes into profit and it comes back into that entry point, it's already considered a low probability area. So when I saw this in the morning, I'm like, yo, you know what? This looks clean. But hey, Lewis, why didn't you take the trade? It's very simple. Could price, think about it, we're trading US 30. We're not trading AU, we're not trading EU, we're not trading DOP USD. We're trading US 30. It is a big pair, a high volume pair, a pair where one mistake is going to cost you your entire account. It's very difficult to trade, especially when you're not following your rules. Could price have given us a sweep of these internal highs here to give us a retest of this engulfing candle to then start the downtrend push? Absolutely. And that's the number one reason why I didn't take this trade. If this engulfing candle would have never existed on the 1 hour time frame, best believe we would have taken this trade. It's very simple. We have a gap in the market. Price hasn't filled it. It gave us an engulfing candle. We're trading at a higher high. We know we're looking for that pullback, right? I wouldn't have caught this entire trade. I would have definitely not caught the entire move, but I would have been able to catch a little piece of the pie. Now, what would that position have looked like? It's very simple. We take our entry at the retest of the engulfing candle, our stop loss at 43 pips at the top of that engulfing candle, that green candle, and my TP would have been just to fill the gap. It would have been a nice little 1 to 2 trade. I'm okay with a 1 to 2 trade on US 30. I'm okay with it. US 30 is a big pair. That's 151. I'm sorry, not 151. That's 89 pips. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with 89 pips. On one pair, I'm good with that. Right? Now, if we would have had our TP at STP for the day, STP would have been hit too. And if we would have targeted STP at 279 pips, then we're talking about these lows down here. Right? And if we would have taken that same trade, right? If we would have taken that same trade with the same stop loss, right? And the target, which was 279 pips, it turns from a 1 to 2 to a 1 to 5. 40 pip stop for a 236 TP. My dad's calling me. Give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. So again, I hope that makes sense. So again, am I gonna call this a missed opportunity? No, absolutely not. Right? Because again, it wasn't following my rules 100%. It wasn't following my rules 100%. This looked like a very low probability trade still at the time that it was in. So that's alright. We'll still have more opportunities to come when it comes to US 30. I'm okay with it. Again, US 30 pays, right? And US 30 knows that when I trade US 30, I'm coming back to get my profits plus the interest. The interest always has to be paid, always. USD CAD, again, this is another pair that, could we say that we're in could we say that we're in A1 first zone of consolidation on the downtrend to continue to push down to the bottom? Because price had already completed the 3 pushes, it went into our previous peak highs. It looks like price had given us a zone of consolidation at the top of peak high, gave us the break, level 1. Right, in level 2, we know we're looking for the 50 to cross below the 200 and stay below it. Everything looks good, right? The first zone of consolidation on a downtrend is either above or on the 800 EMA. All the rules are being followed for this to look like price wants to do that downtrend push. However, we are still trading in a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low situation on the daily time frame. So could this still be a higher low to then continue a little bit higher to make another higher high? 100%. And this is a key reason as to why when we're looking at the market makers pattern, yeah, we could catch level ones, we could catch the shorts in level one, we could catch the shorts from the top of the zone of consolidation and go back down to the bottom. But realistically speaking, what I'm looking for, right, on top of market structure making lower lows and lower highs, when I'm looking at the market makers pattern, I'm not really interested in catching the first move. I'm interested in catching the second move, and I'm interested in catching the third move, which is again, the level 2 drop is what I'm looking to take, and then you have the second zone of consolidation, and then I'm taking the retest of the second zone of consolidation to make level 3 to go back down to the bottom. So I'm okay with missing these trades because I know that I'm going to catch these and I'm going to catch these. And we know that price has to go down to our previous lows down over here. So I'm okay with giving up 100 pips as long as I know that I missed 100 pips to catch 500 pips. Right? And we can use the numbers on the chart. Like, I'm okay with missing out on the first initial 132 pips. I'm cool with that. But best believe that I'm going to be looking to catch the next 140 pips back down to the bottom. Right? So I'm going to be very careful with USD CAD. Very careful. Again, if we start getting confirmations that we're still on an uptrend, then perfect. We'll, flip it around and we'll start looking for those uptrend pushes back to the top side. But for right now, we don't really have that. We're still stuck in the zone of consolidation. We still don't have a valid break of the highs. What happened to my line? Where's my super suit? We had a weaker rise last week. Or I'm sorry, the week before. Last week, price ended up giving us we're gonna mark it as a weaker rise, but we had that gap. But I don't really like to call this a weaker rise. I would call this a no net on a regular basis, but that's okay. Right? And then on the 30-minute time frame, we had price on Friday give us a day of drop, and then today, Monday, price gave us another day of drop, and we had a gap in the market. Price came down, filled it, and then just pretty much moved sideways today. It didn't really give us any crazy moves. So we'll be patient with USD CAD. USDZR is another one that I'm not trading just yet. We have a lot of engulfing candles here. We had a daily engulfing candle at these lows. At these lows down here, price gave us another daily engulfing candle. We can see that price is still disrespecting the zone, and that's okay. Price is still giving us lower lows and lower highs. Overall, we're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation looking for level 3 back to the top side. Right, we're on an uptrend. So as soon as price starts giving us higher highs and higher lows, that's when I'll start looking to take these trades. But for right now, price is still giving us lower lows and lower highs. On the 30-minute time frame, we're still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. And we can see that on the 30-minute time frame, well, as well here, it didn't give us another low, but it tapped into those lows. So we'll be careful with USD CAD. We had a day of drop on Friday, then today, Monday, price gave us 2 days of drops. So, or this is USD ZAR. I think I said USD CAD, sorry. So we'll be patient. As soon as we start making higher highs and higher lows, that's when I'll start trading it. Gold, we're still in peak high territory. We're still making higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, and higher highs. Right, 30-minute time frame, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, all the way back up to these higher highs over here. So we know that we're trading between these 30-minute lows down here. We're trading between these 30-minute highs over here. 4-hour time frame, we're trading between these 4-hour highs that are not set just yet. And on the daily time frame, we're trading between these highs over here. Alright, so we'll be patient with gold. With gold, I'm going to be super patient. As soon as we start seeing confirmation that price wants to give us a pullback, then I'll start looking to take trades again. But right now, I'm going to be super patient with gold. Bitcoin gave us a day of rise on Sunday. And then Monday, which was today, price gave us 2 days of rise. Once again, could we be looking for a 372 push to the top side? It could happen. Could happen. Am I expecting it? Not really. Not really expecting it, but we'll be patient. We'll update that chart tomorrow morning. And then US oil, last but not least, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Friday, price gave us a day of no net where price was just moving sideways. Today, Monday, price gave us another day of no net where price is moving sideways. Overall, we know that oil is in an overall downtrend, but we're trading at a lower low. So we're looking for a lower high to be set. We had 2 weeks of drop. I'm sorry, 2 months of drop. This month being the third month, it gave us that third push to the bottom already, which is good. On the 4-hour time frame, we have a week of drops, so no continuations just yet. And then again, on the 30-minute time frame, we know that we're trading at a lower low. So we also know that we had a change of character to the top side. We had a change of character to the bottom side. So at the end of the day as well, what I'm looking for is for price to give me that valid break of structure of these lows to then continue that downtrend push into the lower low. For price to give us a lower low break of structure, lower high, for then price to give us a lower low back down to the bottom. So that's pretty much it for tonight, guys. Any questions, let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to, oh, I already said that, I'm tweaking. Yeah, before we go, if you have any questions about any specific pairs, just let me know. I guess I can say that. And if not, that'll be it for tonight, and we'll be back again tomorrow morning for the live trading session. Give you guys a minute in the chat. Any questions at all, any confusions, let me know. You said long instead of shorts for NU. Oh, did I? My bad. I'm telling you, my brain is fried today, man. Thank you, sir. Yeah, that shit's already just going straight down, bro. We might not even get the opportunity to trade on you by the time we wake up. We might not get the opportunity to even get into this fucking trade, man. But alright, guys. Have a good rest of your night. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the live trading session. Peace out. And you.